Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Just got done at the gym. I have some time, not a ton of time. It's not going to be a long stream. My father-in-law is grilling chicken. The chicken is just being put onto the grill, and so then they'll call me to eat, and I'll probably have to go. In the meantime, I have pieces of cheese. One of my lights went out. My ring light's not working, and to make matters worse, my mom decided she doesn't love me anymore. I have let her down. She's not proud of me because I'm building this Welephant tool, Welephant, which can be used for white elephant gift exchange, Secret Santa, Dirty Santa. I'm building this for my family to use, and she texts me and she says, "Hey John, I found there's the Secret Santa generator website, and should I use that one instead of the one that you're building?" I can only assume she's referring to drawnames.com because I Google Secret Santa generator and they come up first. I mean, I guess not if you're counting the ads, but who counts ads? That's so sus. They're advertising, they're trying to sell you. Secret Santa generator for all occasions, a blatant lie. If it's a Secret Santa generator, it's only for Secret Santa occasions, not all occasions. What are you going to use this on July 4th? Misleading marketing. You go over here. It's a fantastic, useful app. I hate it so much. You put in your name, Jim. You got Bob and Sarah. And it does exactly what anybody would want. You can draw one or two names. You can do exclusions. Group name, date of exchange, mailing address. They even have mailing address. Mailing address. My app doesn't have mailing address. I guess they're better than me. Anyway, I'm joking. But this is kind of a cool app, right? So I can kind of compare what my thing does against this, and it'll make sure I have the right features. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Draw names. Email, description. These are some of the things in mine. Date of the exchange. Ooh, amazing. I missed that. I'll need to add that. I had an assignment date, but not an event date, which is kind of ridiculous, right? Definitely need the event and date. Probably an event location field. So let's dive in and do some stuff. Boom. And then where we were last stream, so this is like part 10. Yeah, this is part 10. You can go to YouTube and see the whole playlist. So you go to playlist, it's Welephant, W-Elephant right here. 7 videos on the playlist just because I need to add a couple of the latest videos to it, but pretty soon they'll all be on there. And this weekend, inclusive of now, I'm thinking about doing like 3 different streams. So this will be the 10th, and then we'll probably get to a dozen, maybe a baker's dozen by the end of the weekend. Thanks for being here. If you like coding, hanging out with developers, programming humor, follow my channels. If you want to learn how to code, you don't already know, but you're interested, also, welcome. Hang out. Check the link in my TikTok bio. You can schedule a call with me if you're interested in that and learning to code. And here's the application. I think my server is running. We hit a pausing point. I don't know if I actually committed the code. Yeah, so let's wrap that up and make sure we commit the code before we proceed. I'm going to refresh this. I'm also going to briefly write down the enhancement to the party entity. Party model enhancements, location field. I guess they could use notes for now, but probably standardize the field. And event date, or event date time. Event time. Should be a date time, technically. Thanks for the likes. 10 people in the house. We're just kicking off, so you made it here early. You're one of the early ones. Hey, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch. It's the same username, and you can see my full screen. That's going to be more helpful. People already on YouTube and Twitch, welcome. Thanks for being here. I know y'all in the house too. Cool. And it's open source, right? Vandevere, that's my name. In all my channels, you can see how to spell it, Vandevere/Welephant, W-Elephant, Welephant, for White Elephant Gift Exchange. And the README in the repository can explain more what that is. Okay, so we created this party. Let's go back to the list of parties. Here it is, John's coding party. Forgot the apostrophe because I'm a programmer and we're not good with grammar. We're illiterate. That's why we have to code. And I want to have a home nap. That would be good. Did I ever do? Oh, are you going to bed? Night night. Night night. Mwah. Do I have an issue for navigation? Closing, but you're cool. Boom. RSVP feature, we need that. Party model enhancements, we wrote that down. The party entity, the base entity is done, although I didn't commit it. Okay, am I on a branch here? Let me go over here, get branch. And we can see that I'm on the wish list items link details page. Branch. Okay, so I guess we're gonna knock out a few GitHub issues with that branch. Wish list, this one. And then party entity, and then control F NAV. I don't see. It's weird, it's telling me 1 of 1, but I don't see where it is. Are my eyes failing me? Bro, I'm fully tripping. All right, let me search. Yeah. So I need to create a nav bar story. And then we also need to have a new issue to execute assignment. Submit that issue. We're gonna do all this stuff this weekend. There's gonna be like 20 issues. We're gonna knock them out. Maybe I should use Hacktoberfest. Are you hacking into the mainframe? You got it, Rar King. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to do, exec assignment. So you create your party, you assign your attendees. Invite feature, this can be a low priority. Actually email the invite. So if I invite you, but you're not a user, you should be emailed an invitation with sign up flow. Also, if you're already, you should probably still get email plus an app notification. Also, I guess if I'm emailing people, I should have a terms of use page. By the way, I graduated with a CS degree and worked for 3 years, then I realized it wasn't for me. But I've always wanted to get back into it. What suggestions do you have for me, sir? I think a boot camp is probably a good idea in your case. You could also check out programming adjacent fields. Maybe the programming itself is not interesting to you, but the tech is. So maybe product would be a way for you to go, or Scrum Master, or QA. Or if you want to get back into programming itself, I think probably a boot camp. Check my bio, link in my bio. We can do a one-on-one consult, and I can give you more personalized and detailed information. Cool. So that's going to be a low priority. So you create the party, right? You assign your attendees. Maybe they get an actual email, maybe they don't. And then we exec the assignment. So who's getting gifts for who is now known. And I think we're good to go. Oh, and then download, yeah, upload and download like bulk. Cool. These are smart in my opinion. Over 300 likes. All right, and we're just kicking off. That's great news. So what do we want to tackle first? What I want to tackle first is I want to button up the current branch that I'm on. So here we are right here. We have this labeled Boolean field, which we got that to work. So let's stage it. And the party form, got that to work. Let's stage it. I'm going to commit this, but we can see we're already dealing with schema and party form. So it could make sense for us to, on the same branch, go ahead and add the enhancements. So I'm going to git commit. This is going to be feat label, or like Boolean fields, better party form. No, verify that. We'll push it. Hey, what are you building here? Welephant, W-Elephant. You can go to GitHub and search it and you'll find it. It's an open source party tool. Okay, so let's go to these enhancements. Party model enhancements. Okay, location field. I'll just leave it as a string for now. I guess in theory you could have like a series of strings. So we'll have a text field for that. And then I want a date field for the event date. All right, so there's the name, date, location. Really, name, date, location should be like top 3 things. Okay, and then we can have nodes at the end. So name, date, and location. Those are the labels. Okay, and then the property name on the object, we'll do event date. And we'll do, we just do location, that makes sense. The placeholder will be, I don't know, USA. Sounds good. I'll check it out later. Thank you. Hey, great. Thanks for being here. Date, I'm going to delete that and we will use a labeled date field. So we're going to make a new field. So we have the labeled text field, the labeled Boolean field, and we're going to have a labeled date field. Labeled Boolean field, maybe it should be called like labeled checkbox. That might make more sense, but I think it's fine. Labeled date field. Makes sense to me. So let's go create it, and we will default it to today's date, tomorrow. What do you think? It'd be weird to like make a party for today, wouldn't it? Let me know in the chat. I think I'm going to default it to I guess I'll default it to today, even though that seems kind of dumb, but I don't necessarily know a better day to default it to. Here's the labeled date field. An interesting option here is, yeah, you ain't gonna need it. So we're not gonna create options that we don't need. But in the future, it would be cool to have a validation where the labeled date field might not allow you to pick previous dates. It might be like future only. I think I do want that. So I'm going to put it to do. Don't allow picking past date times. Munya says, hi guys. Poppy Sensei says, I'm back. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Throw some likes on it. Support your boy. Thanks for the follows. Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to 1017. I think it's Daniel, although it's spelled unusually. But I guess the normal one was taken, wasn't it? Thanks for the follows, y'all. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok or YouTube, sorry, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube, search my username, see the whole screen. Like the page, follow the page. If you want to learn to code, check the link in my bio, shoot me an email. My email's in there. Cool. So let's rename the thing. So we named the file labeled date field. Here we will go labeled date field. This is labeled date field props. Okay. This is all looking good. Here we are going to make sure that the labeled date field is using labeled date field props. Now it's going to have default. This we're going to change to optional with future or with past dates. Okay, that's going to be an optional Boolean. Because it's optional, it will be falsy by default, which means we don't allow picking past dates. So to do, validate. So we have the option, we have the argument, but it's not being validated at the moment. Material design theme is better. Yeah, material's great. Typo, where's the typo? Hit me up. Labeled date field props, labeled date field, validate, don't allow picking past date times with past, I don't know. Did I fix it already? Cool. So we'll go through here. And what are we doing? The main thing that we're doing is we are changing this. It's no longer a checkbox. It's going to be a type date. Is that the right one? Let's go see. Let's go see what it looks like. So we're here on the coding party. Oh no, labeled date field is not defined. Okay, I need to import it. What extensions do you use? That's a great question. I don't want to go down a rabbit trail, but I'll kind of skim them with you. Copy Linux-like path because I'm on Windows, but a bunch of tools want the Linux-style path, especially if you're using Docker or if you're using Git Bash, so that's a great extension. Dino, because Dino's Bay. Containers in Docker, if you're working with containers in Docker. I'm not at the moment, but other projects I do. ESLint, you need it. You need ESLint if you're working in TypeScript world. The pull requests and issues, I would not call that one essential, but it has some cool features. Like I can right click this, if I'm not mistaken, and I can, copy GitHub permalink or open, like I can jump right to GitHub basically. So that's cool. GitLens, this is my favorite at the moment, artificially intelligent IntelliSense. There's also GitHub Copilot, which when I tried it, I did not like it, but it's been a while, so maybe it's better now. TypeScript support, you got to get that IntelliSense. It's so good. Reload required. I should probably go ahead and reload. Jupyter, when you're working with Python Jupyter notebooks for data analysis. LaTeX, when you're working with LaTeX files for like academic work. There's that open in GitHub thing. I wonder if that's redundant. Prisma, Prettier. These are the things you need. Tab 9. Oh, hold on. I mixed up Tab 9 and GitLens. Sorry. So Tab 9 is the artificially intelligent IntelliSense. GitLens gives you a bunch of like GitHub or a bunch of Git tools, like the Git protocol. One of them I thought was I can click and see inline, I can do like an inline git blame, but I'm not seeing it. So I don't know if that's like a problem with, I don't know, something. Stata, if you're doing Stata, wow, I haven't done Stata in a while. This extension is deprecated. Let me go ahead and take that out. Oh, it's disabled. I can uninstall it though. Let's reload for all of these. You use Tetron? I'm not familiar with Tetron. What does Tetron do? School me. WSL, I mean, if you want to use WSL, that's cool. I really don't, but maybe when I update my operating system, I will. TypeScript Hero is great. That lets me sort imports. That's mainly the thing I do with that. And then I have TypeScript import sorter. I don't know. View tooling. I haven't used view tooling in a long time. I might want to take that one out. Is disabled globally by the user. Oh, these are both disabled. So let's go ahead and uninstall them then. Cool. Yeah, so I think TypeScript Hero is the one I actually use to sort imports. Thank you so much for sharing. You're very welcome. It was a great question. Okay, so here we have the date field. I'm going to hover. You can see VS Code is checking for quick fixes. It should find it. Oh, you know what? I don't think I renamed the export. So let me scroll down to the bottom and rename it. Yeah. And now VS Code should be able to find it. Add import from label date field. I don't understand the difference between these top two. Whatever. I think it might have been listed twice. What sling settings do you have? I don't know. I didn't even know that I had sling. Labeled date field is not defined. Let's refresh. Yeah. Okay, and there's the date field. I guess there's no default date, is there? That's kind of fine. There doesn't have to be a default date. Let me double check HTML minimum date. There might be an option on the input itself. What ESLint settings? Oh, so I'm using Blitz.js. This is the framework that I used. And they have, they take care of all that opinionated stuff. That's one of the reasons it's so great. So they have prettier file, and they have ESLint rules out of the box. So I can show you in like the list of rules, but the real answer is I'm using what they recommend. But let's go check it out. So where's my file, my ESLint file? Although some of their stuff kind of annoys me a little, mainly because I like semicolons, but it's not a big deal. It's literally so low priority that I haven't bothered to even change these. Yeah, that's it. Blitz. It's just the Blitz rules. I don't know. We could go like interrogate them if I care, but I just don't care. Like, it helps me a lot. I think they extend the Next.js official rules. The officially real me. I think you were here the other day, right? Thanks for being here. Okay, so label date field, we got that. What I wanted to do was set the minimum date. Oh, just like that. JavaScript only solution. Well, is this the best way to do it? You need JavaScript, apparently. Okay, well, we love JavaScript here, so that works. I'm kind of surprised. I would think that it would be built in. Yeah, works for me. Upvote them. Good job. Hey, Mark's Munchies. Good to see you. Long time no see. What V extensions do you primarily use? Really, ESLint and Prettier are the big two. And then you set up your VS Code settings to auto format on save, right? So let's grab this. I think there's going to be a different way to do this. And let's do Next.js. Next.js date, or like minimum date. Next.js date input. Date picker. React date picker. I don't really want to use React date picker necessarily. React date picker format with Luxon. I'd really rather not bring in another library. I mean, okay. We'll check it out. I'm going to try to do it without doing that, but then if it's a pain, then I'll do that. Let's time box it. We'll follow a time boxing strategy. There you go. So we'll time box this to, I guess, 15 minutes. Or with Moment.js. Oh no, not Moment.js. Moment.js is the old badness. Moment.js is how we die. Okay, so this is the, oh yeah, because they're using document.getElement, I should just be able to use a ref. This is React, hello. So yeah, use ref is the React way. I wonder if there's a next. If there's a Next.js way to do this, it's use ref. How do you structure your folder in Next.js? That's like a long, it's like something I don't want to get into. You can just read their documentation. Their documentation is really pretty good. And it's pretty intuitive also. There's a pages folder, you see? You put your pages in your pages folder. That's basically it. Which link is that? I'm so lost. So this is TypeScript. You can see the file extension is TSX. That is JSX with types. So the language is TypeScript, but the syntax for this stuff, this HTML-like syntax, that is JSX or TSX because we're using types. It's basically React. Useref invalid hook. I'm using this, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is not a good question and answer. Let's just try the ordinary React way. Okay, so we'll come over here and we will use input L. Notice the type-based naming. This is like a kind of like a Hungarian naming. Update import from React. So here's input L. And then I think I just throw ref on it, right? Ref equals input L, yeah, on the input. So here, we're gonna say ref equals, oops, I did that wrong. Ref equals input L. Web shit, that's right, that's right. Now, what do? What am I doing? I don't need to do any of this. Literally, I just need to say max. I'm making it complicated, y'all. Sorry, my brain is not braining. So I want to say min. And I want to say due date, which means now. When you do a new date, it's going to return now, basically. Date is not assignable to type, string, or number, or undefined. I wonder if it understands foo. I wonder if it understands that min is a built-in field. Foo does not exist on detailed HTML prompts. Okay, so min does exist on detailed HTML prompts. So we'll do this. We'll do date dot, see what we can chain it with. Get date. So this is going to return us a number, right? I think this is the correct thing to do. Let's double check, but I think that's going to be today's date as a number. Back in the day, you just do it with a angle bracket with 2 timestamps. Set to state, TS on React. I don't know, I'm kind of lost in the comments. Hey, reminder, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch and see the full screen. Okay, so here's the date, and it says 10/6. Let me refresh the page. I'm not sure if I picked that earlier. So I can pick, yeah, no, the minimum date is not working. Here I see min 28, okay. I wonder what number it's expecting. So this date would be like the day of the month. Get full year. I want to say get date. No, not. I want to get like the full date. Get UTC date. Let's try that. Let's try the UTC date. No, it's still letting me pick old stuff. And if we look over here, men is still evaluating to 29, which is not what I expect. So maybe I should try to get the time instead of the date. We do the, so it'll give me the milliseconds maybe. Let's see what that does. Guess and check. Nope, it's still not working. Let me just read the HTML minimum dates. Okay, so of course you have to follow this like goofy arbitrary HTML string pattern, don't you? Okay, so we'll need to format it basically. Okay. Year, 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 month, month, day, day, day. I had a Stack Overflow. There was a Stack Overflow article that built a function. So yeah. ToString, Luxon.js for formatting dates. Hey, we're doing a time box, remember? I said I would do it if I need to. Let's try this. Locale date string. Thanks for the follows. All right, so that worked. So today is the 28th, isn't it? Okay, so it kind of turns out that the Canadian date formatting matches to the HTML spec. So that's a convenient trick. Forge Tech, Web3 Metaverse, Melissa Vantelborg, Maestro Angler. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Over 500 likes. That's awesome. Okay, so now we have this date field, but I want it to say event date. I don't want it to say date. So let's go over here, and we're going to say event date. Cool, now we got the name, we have the event date, the location, and then here's the notes. I could make that like a big text area, you know. We'll leave it like that for now. So this looks pretty good to me. Let's double check my GitHub issue. Was there anything else I was missing? Location field and the event time. The event time. So yeah, we got to avoid using a library by just using a little function. That's great. Currently, this is a date field. Let's try and see if I can do a date time. I think I need two separate. I think I might need two separate things. So there's a time input, right? Yeah. So this is going to be a date input. So I guess we'll have two fields, event date, event time. I really don't want two fields. Whatever, we'll have two fields. That's called a micro optimization. It's not worth wasting too much time on, is it? Okay, so we have a labeled date field and we will have a labeled time field. Okay, so with past dates is a Boolean. By the way, I need to actually use my with past dates. So I think I can do null or like undefined. So if the min is undefined, there's no minimum. Let's double check that. I think that's right. Event date. Does Control W still make the browser better for coding? I don't know. You should format it to put the time after the date all in one line. Yeah, I really think that's like a good idea, but I'm not going to do it. In the future, I might want like a time component, so it's not a big deal. We'll just do, like I said, it's a micro optimization. So we'll do props dot, we'll use a ternary. So if it is with past dates, this will be undefined. Otherwise, it's not with past dates, which means that the minimum is today. Does that make sense? So that's a ternary syntax. Still learning how to code, be easy on him. Okay, and then does the time field also have a minimum? I'm not sure. Let's see. What PL is this? This is TypeScript. Quick reminder, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch and see the full screen. So now let's check the time. This is not a time. We want to adjust that. So that's the time field. React? Yeah, basically, yeah. This is Blitz.js, which is a framework on top of React. What are we doing here? Building a web application Welephant, that's Welephant, which is a party planning assistance tool. So the event time, this time field doesn't seem to be working. Type time. Let's go over here and inspect and make sure that the type is time. Here we can see the type is date. So something did not get updated. So here is the input. Oh, I know why. So this is still called a labeled date field. That's the problem. So this is a labeled time field. And then we're going to have a labeled time field props. Labeled time field props. We just shorten this to be with past. And that will allow us to have a generic idiom, a generic naming scheme across time and date with past in either case. The validation is now done. Let's rename this. This is with past. It's also more parsimonious. I remember one time I had an interview and I said that I preferred a name, a variable name, because it was more parsimonious. And the guy just looked at me and said, "Did you really just say parsimonious in an interview? I've never heard that before." That's what he told me. Coding is fun. I do think so, yeah, legit. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. TS React, I'm taking a course on this right now. Awesome. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so it's still not updated. Fear not. This is just because I am still dumb. So we label time field, the file is called label time field. We're all Gucci, but I need to actually make, on the form side, I need to actually make it import and implement the label time field. So we created the field and then we just never used it. So I can do the Control-Shift-P, TS hero right at the top, and you can see the import sorting that I referred to, and look at that. Everything is alphabetical. We love it. And now we finally have that time field that we were craving. And it does seem to have the minimum. So this is 8:14. We do 1:14 p.m. No, it did not respect. It did not respect the minimum. Let's see. What is the minimum over here? Ah, because it's a different minimum syntax, right? So let me play around in my dev console. Which framework? Node.js, TypeScript? Yeah, this is Blitz.js. So I'm going to go to new date. We'll say get time. Okay. This is not what I want. I need to format. How do I format this thing? To something. I don't know. Get. I guess we can just make it the. Nah, that's kind of hacky. I was going to say we can make it the nearest hour, but then I could still schedule the event for 5 minutes ago, which is like kind of dumb. I don't know. Maybe that's fine. Well, let's not do that unless we it's like a bunch of work just for some reason to do it otherwise. So I can do get hours. Yep, and then so let's do this. I can do an interpolated string. This is not too much work. So get hours, colon. And then here we'll do new date. Coding is super fun. You're not selling it though. Sorry. I'm not trying to sell it, my friend. Thanks for the haterade. I'm sharing my experiences, my boy. But yeah, feel free to sell it in the chat. Won't get time work? No, because it's in a different format. You see that? It's the UTC time. Can you catch exceptions here too? Yeah, you can do a try catch. Yeah, for sure. And so with past here, this is the time field. So with past, yes, means the minimum is undefined. No means we're going to set it at this minimum. Should use day.js library. Absolutely not. I can do this instead of using a library. Come on, that's way easier. UTC is a format. Yeah, it's not just a format, but it's in part a format. So UTC is a time. It's kind of like a timing scheme, but it includes format. So here, let's go 4:17 p.m. It's not enforced, right? I can pick 4:17 p.m., which is earlier in the day. Let's see. It's not working for some reason. So the minimum is 2017. Which should make this be like after 8 p.m. Here is 10:12 p.m. Here is 4:12 p.m. Oh, look at that. The minimum is just not respected. Okay, so is there not? There's not a minimum kind of thing on the date field, on the time field. That stinks. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. Cragwell says wrong. UTC is not a format according to Cragwell. Bad News Bears, check this out. So sorry, UTC dates and times have an opinionated format. Just so you know. Hey, can you do quantity times price and display total in HTML? I don't know. I think you can. I don't know that I'd recommend that. I'd rather use JavaScript than HTML. I think there's like a math node. For there to be a minimum, the time needs to work with the date to determine the past. It kind of makes sense. I'm not really sure how to do that. I'm not sure it's worth the effort. We'll just drop the minimum field, that's fine. So there's no with past on the time field. Works for me. It was kind of a nice to have anyway. Okay, so they have event date, event time, location, event date, event time, location. Why no fastify.js? I don't know what that is. Is that for a web server? Yeah, I've seen this. The answer is because it doesn't give you everything Blitz has, like code generation and stuff. So check out Blitz.js and like, I don't know, learn about it. And I think you'll understand why. It does a whole bunch of stuff. It's full stack. It connects to your database. It includes the ORM type generation, CRUD, create, read, update, delete, GUI generation for you. Cool. So location is with, I don't know, at the barbecue place. And the event date, we'll make this for next week. Cool. So we tried to update it, and notice that the update only partly worked because I didn't implement these in the database schema. So we updated the form, we have these new fields. I'm going to close these, Control P. I'm going to go to WEL schema. It's called fuzzy typing. VS Code supports fuzzy typing. I'll check. Thanks. You got it. Thanks for being here. Hey, if you like coding, hanging out with developers, follow the page, smash like, send it to your friends, family, uncle, dog. Maybe not your dog. I don't know. I'm for sharing coding knowledge, but I don't know. I don't know that your dog can code. Sorry about that. So what we want to do here is go to the party entity. So here's the party model. This is the Prisma DSL, domain-specific language. What I'd like to do here is add the event date. So here's assigned at, and we're going to say event at. The at naming is just an idiom. It's conventional. In modeling, data modeling. And then we'll put it in, it's actually not in alphabetical order. I'm not sure what kind of ordering is being used here. It's kind of goofy. Please, I want to make an app. You can totally do it. Go for it. Okay, assigned at, event at. And the other one is the, yeah. This is a date time, but can I just make it a date? No? We need a date time. That's so lame. That's so lame because we're gonna have to break this into two fields. I think we can merge them. Yeah. We'll do event date. Well, that's no fun. All right, let's see if there's my date field. I think it always wants a date time, but we'll see the date format for the date data type in Prisma. What are you making? Welephant, W elephant. A white elephant and Secret Santa tool. Okay, so here's all the Prism stuff. Are you going to use CSS or styling? At some point, yes. It's not like top of my priority list, but yeah, eventually. I think, let's see. I think I will just store it as a datetime. Hello, what are we making? Welephant, W elephant. It's open source, you can check it out on GitHub. Here, let me open the page real quick. Voila. And this is a white elephant and Secret Santa party planning tool. And you can read more about what that is here in the README. I think there should be a host table with a many-to-many user relationship. Yeah, maybe. Feel free to submit a pull request. So here's a Prisma scaler for Postgres specifically. I don't know that I necessarily want to write a Postgres specific migration, even though I am using Postgres, so like it wouldn't necessarily hurt anything. That's pretty cool though. New date. That's pretty much what I want. Okay, let's try it. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to do it like that. Event date. I'll make this. I shall give your GitHub a follow. Thank you very much. Error validating model party. Okay. So that seems to be like an invalid declaration on my part. Let's see. Date. Native database type attribute. So how do you use it? I think I just do this. Did that work? I think that's what I'm supposed to do. So it's a date time, but we're going to try and do the specific DB date thingy. Cool. And then we are going to do event time. And then, does this need to be a string? It might need to be a string. To do, like, maybe this shouldn't be a string. Thanks for the follows. We got a bunch of follows. Nicholas, Justin, Rick, Teddy, Kyle. Thanks for being here, y'all, and thanks for the likes. Over 1,400 likes. SQL. This is Prisma, but it does translate over into SQL. Yeah. So it's an ORM integrated with Postgres. Quick reminder, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch and see the full screen. Hope to see you there. I think I'm over 50 people on Twitch now. I'm like over 15,000 on TikTok, and then I'm over 50 on Twitch. I think I'm around like 350 on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Cool, so I think this is looking pretty good, except for the event time, which is a string, which kind of stinks. But I'm okay with that. Oh, I'm really not okay with that. I'm so salty. 53. All right, thanks for the update. All right, so I am going to, I'm going to merge the fields. Sorry for the wish-wash, y'all. I'm going to merge the fields and just use a date time. What's the use of ORM? So it helps me generate TypeScript types that align with my database with minimal work on my part and minimal error because the system is assuring everything works. It also is more secure. So I'm not writing raw SQL, which is susceptible to SQL injection and other issues. It's just easier. It saves me a bunch of keystrokes and time. It also creates a like this generic layer where I can switch from Postgres to SQLite or to MySQL. I can switch my data provider, and the ORM will alter the SQL as necessary, which is super, super convenient. Okay, so I think that's it. So let's do Blitz Prisma generate, which will update my types. You can see new Prisma client is available. That succeeded. I can also do Blitz Prisma DB push, which will push my remote database to align to my current schema. You can see that that succeeded. Your database is now in sync with your Prisma schema. So now when I go over to the party form, or sorry, the party form. So we have all these things and they're being sent to who's using the party form. It's eventually a mutation is what we call it. So the party form is going to be on the create as well as the edit pages. So let me go over there. Here is the parties page. We can go to the new parties page, and then here is the create party mutation, right? And we can see the party create input now has new type is what I'm looking for. Let's see, did I make the event date? I made the event date optional. Is it optional though? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna let you create an event date when you're not sure what the date is yet. That's fine. Okay. So here's the event date, so you can see the type definition. Can I pay you to do my homework? I don't know, that's kind of sus. You can pay me for mentoring. I'll help you with your homework. I use VS Code, but it's so slow. Tried WebStorm and loved it instantly. Look, WebStorm's cool. Yeah, no shade. I like VS Code a lot. I think it gets slow on Windows. I think it's faster on Mac. Anywho, so this looks good. Now I want to go close to the right. I want to go to my edit party page and ensure that I am using the mutation that will let me actually, put the event date, event time, location, and so on the entity and really update the database. So here are the parties. This is the party ID, edit. Here's the edit page. And you can see we are using the same party form that we were just looking at, and we are sending it to the update party mutation. So here is update party. This is what we need to change. So Zod is only checking for ID and name at the moment. Do you know C? I do not know C. Have you tried Rust? Rust is great. What are you using on front end? TypeScript. Okay, So here is update party, and then we're going to also change the create party. So for create party, let's look at our form. Basically, we want to make sure all of these properties on the form are supported on the entity. So let me click edit. So we have name, date, time, location. Date, time, location are going to be new. Name, we already have. Date, time, location. Event, date, event, time, location. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, keeping it alphabetical. This will be a z.date. Does Z have a time? I don't know. Let's see. Time does not exist. So this is actually going to be, I think, a string. I could be wrong about that. So let me console.log the input. I want to make sure that I'm not filtering out the event time because I said it's a string and it's really a number, for example, or a date. We thought our thoughts, we've been thinking our thoughts, we thought again. Whoa, deep. What language is this in? TypeScript. Okay, so this is going to be the create party, right? And then I'm just going to copy all of this and go to the update party as well. I'm literally just like taking, here, let me get rid of the const. I'm going to just like take the same thing, and I think it's going to work. With minor revision, there's going to have to be some minor revision. Where ID, yeah. So I still need this line. Pew, pew, pew. Let's import Prisma. Get rid of those extra lines. Here's the input. Let's see. Right? CTX, let's bring in CTX. That's going to come through the resolver pipe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, hold on. I screwed that up. Sorry. I think it might be after the object. Did that flow through? It flowed through, right? Do you have any projects in JavaScript? TypeScript and JavaScript are, yeah, the answer is yes. Like, check my GitHub. I have a bunch of JavaScript, but TypeScript and JavaScript are the same thing. So if you can read TypeScript, you can read JavaScript. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. The syntax is very, very similar. So don't let TypeScript intimidate you. I would encourage you. Okay, so this is going to be augmented. This is going to be a create input, but we want to change that to be an update input. And that flows through so we know it's right. Unchecked create input, let's change it to be an unchecked update input. Okay. Party updates, cool, everything's working, the reference to the type is working. Okay, augmented is valid. Do you do Java? I've done a lot of Java throughout my career. Currently, I don't use it very often. Object literal may only specify known properties, and augmented does not exist. Right. So I think this should say like data : augmented, if I'm not mistaken. Cool. So we want to pass the update. We want to pass the updater this data. The term augmented is like a variable name that I came up with. The term they're expecting, they want that data to be under the data property. We'd also do this, right? We do this as a shorthand. So that works as well. Yeah, I think that's even better. ID. ID of what? I just started coding with Java, that's why I asked. What do you think is a good next language? Hey, Java is great. You can just get your job with that and then learn whatever you want. I mean, surprisingly enough, I might suggest Python just because the paradigm is like so opposite of Java. Or JavaScript, TypeScript, so that you can expand into full stack. If you want to stay on the server side, Python will probably help you more. If you want to get into ML, Python will help you more. Data analysis, Python will help you more. If you want to stay in Java world, but you just want to do cooler than like the ancient Java 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, you could look into Kotlin. You look into Kotlin and Clojure. Those would be my thoughts. So ID does not exist. So where did ID come from? Yeah, so ID is a number here. We do need that. We do need that. That's telling us which party that we're updating. Close others. So now we've resolved all the issues, right? So in theory, it should work. So let's go console.log the input now. I studied this for 7 weeks and gave up. What does resolver.pipe do in your code? This is a data pipeline. Basically, this is you can think about it as a function making tool. What it lets you do, like if you know any bash, it's just like the pipe operator. It lets you call a function, and the result of that function is sent to the subsequent function, and the result of that function is sent to the subsequent function. That's all it does. It literally takes, it literally orchestrates and combines your functions, and it says take one, pass it to the next, pass it to the next, all the way through, just like a pipe. You can think about like data flowing through a pipe. That's what it does. And this is called a pipeline pattern. This is actually also done in like data analysis. Is it NumPy? Who does the data pipeline? NumPy data pipeline. It might not be NumPy. Is it? Yeah, Beginner's Guide to Data Pipelines with TensorFlow. This should be correct. Pandas, NumPy, maybe I'm mixing those up. Yeah. It's not the exact syntax I had in mind, but it's the same idea. It's like, here's your data, we're going to change it, we're going to change it, we're going to change it, and eventually you get to the bottom and it like looks correct. I think that was kind of like an off-topic kind of thing. Sounds like extra work and not very readable. I mean, yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from. This is a functional paradigm, so this is like functional programming. It does look a bit weird, like I get that. You can rewrite it so it will basically not look weird. Like you could just say like Z equals F of A, G equals F of Z, like K equals F of G. It's literally the same thing. Like you call a function, you get a result, you pass it to the next function. So arguably this is more readable. So I get where you're coming from. But I think if you understand the benefits of functional programming and pure functions in particular, you'll say it like it's worth it, basically. So maybe you can read about pure functions. What I'm saying is, what if you wanted to console.log to debug after a function, but should be fine? Yeah, you would just create, so like right here, I'm console.logging inside of the pipeline. So I could like do, I could log here, or I could do a wrapper function and I could be like log here, and then return that, right? Does that make sense? So you can, it's still debuggable. But again, I hear you. Like maybe, especially if you're like a younger developer and you're not familiar with functional syntax, this could be easier for you, definitely. So they're both valid. This is just the way that Blitz kind of generates the code. And it's like, it doesn't bother me enough to make me want to refactor it, but maybe for other people that would make sense. You can also modify, I don't necessarily recommend it, but you can modify the Blitz code generation. So if you want it to be generated in a different syntax, you can just have it do that for you. I don't care that much. But they're open source too. What framework? Blitz.js. Okay, so we're doing this, right? Honestly, if you want a functional programming, use a functional language. So JavaScript and TypeScript are multi-paradigm, which means they support functional, like they are functional and they're also OOP. They're both. So yeah, I mean, if you want to get purist about it, fine. But I really don't like that strategy because my strategy is like learn the language that's going to help you get a job. And some of these like purist functional languages, like what, F or I think Clojure, there's just not a lot of jobs for those. And they're also like kind of difficult to learn. They're not really beginner friendly. Okay, cool. Good talk. So let's pick this, whatever. As a barbecue place. Update party. Boom. Oh no. Expected a date and received a string. JavaScript is the best to learn for getting a job. Yeah, I agree. Expected a date, received a string for event date. Expected a date, received a string. Okay, so here is this is the update, and then let's go change event date to be z.string. The other thing we could do is I could parse it before I send it through Zod. I can convert it to a date if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I think it's fine like that. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Expected a Boolean, received a string. Whoa, why'd you expect a Boolean for location? Oh, because I'm dumb and I never fixed it. Developer error. We're really flexing front-end code out here. This is not front-end. ORMs are not front-end. This is called full stack. So this is like, look at this. This is JSON. We're like defining a model and a schema. This is not front-end. Wow, what happened over here? Unknown arg user ID and data.user ID. Yeah, I think I don't need to be passing user ID, do I? Let me just comment that. Look, this is Jason. He's so mad. Invalid update function. Did you mean name? What does it mean, did you mean name? Unknown arg location and data.location for type party update input. Oh, did I not add location to the schema? Let's see, Control P, well, schema, Control F, Control V. Yo, my bad. I never, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I never added a location. Okay, so let's regenerate Blitz Prisma DB push. Oh, hey, where's that salty dude that was talking about TypeScript LMAO? Like TypeScript's not a backend language. This is called data modeling. Maybe you should get a job at Amazon for a while and see how much TypeScript they use. TypeScript is a real full stack and back-end language, y'all. Okay, did that take care of it? I don't know. Let's go double check. So here's the update. Let's click into here, and now I got optional location. Okay, so the type is regenerated. Right click, empty cache, hard reload. Update. Okay. Did you mean name? Unknown arg event date. Well, did I forget that on the schema? Event date. No, here's event date right here. Okay. So why is it saying unknown arg? Let's go double check the database. Oh, watch out for this front end stuff. Watch out for all this front end stuff. We're using TypeScript, Victor. Hey, quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch and see the full screen. Okay, so let's look at the columns on our front end SQL database. That was sarcastic, by the way. So here's event date and location. So they exist, they're right there. Hey, Victor. They're like spamming the same question over and over. Spamming what programming language is it? It's TypeScript, Victor. Oh man, I think I might need to block this person. That stinks. Okay, I think they settled down. All right, cool. Cool, so event date, right? Is it just mad because it's a string? Is that the issue? Unknown arg event date. Right, so it's coming through. Looks good. Date is a string, time is a string. Invalid update invocation. Let's do this. I said update input or unchecked update input. Let's guarantee that it's checked. That might make it a little bit happier. I don't need to console.log this anymore. Really, I can just change. Really, I can just do this. Now let's do, I like the way this is written. I like the way this is written. Okay. So it's still passing, right? Created at, updated at, name, notes, stealing, assigned at, event date, location, creator, participants. Okay, and this can be a date or a string. Is it event time? I would understand if it was mad about event time. I don't really understand why it's mad about event date. Let me delete event time. Okay. operand delete must be optional. Okay, let's do this. It's like a weird way to delete the event time field. And it's saying event time is there undefined. This is like kind of annoying. Unknown arg event date. Let me refresh this. It should not say that location is unknown. Unknown location. All right, let's see if I forgot to regenerate. Isolate it or put a line break in step through. Yeah, that's a good idea. So here's location. Update Prisma party update input. Prisma party update input. Here's location. Right? I think I need to restart my server at this point. It's complaining about a field that's definitely there. Cool, so I'm restarting my server with dev. I'm watching this at 4 a.m. Whoa, where are you at? Also, what's the GitHub link? It's my last name / Welephant. So, here you go. C-. Rendering suspense fallback. Okay, so here's the party. And here's location. So it's aware of location now. Let me just update location. It's probably going to complain about time and stuff. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I needed to restart the server. For whatever reason, the hot module reloading was broken. What tech stack are you using? Blitz.js, although I'm really using TypeScript, so you might want to call it like Blitz.ts. Anyway. Event date expected string received null. Event date expected string received null. Yeah, so let's pick a date. Boom. Let's see what's going on over there. Event date got invalid value, provided string expected date time or nullable date time field operation input. Whoa, rad. Okay, this is actually what I expect. So we're getting the strings. We're getting the, so let me do, massaged event date, basically, or like merged. So we're getting these two strings, and we need to merge them into a single date time. We're getting two strings, and we need to parse and merge them into a single date time field. So this is going to be new date, and here we are going to pass input dot event date, and then we are going to merged event date dot set time This is going to be input.event time. Yeah. Argument of type string is not assignable to parameter of type number. All right, let's make sure that this works the way I expect. So we're going to go over here and we're going to say new date. Can I say new time? Is that a thing? That's not a thing, right? New date 0 to 39. Invalid date. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to have a parse time function. Okay, so we're gonna have parse time, and this is going to set time, parse time. This was a stub, obviously it shouldn't be 3. Cool, is this making sense? Show us the files. This is JavaScript. Yeah, basically, it's TypeScript, but it's basically JavaScript. Now, I'm actually not sure what this time should be. I guess instead of parse time, I want to convert HTML time to well, I want to set time on a date. I guess I should individually set hours. Yeah. Okay. We're going to, yeah. So this is going to be merged. Okay. Set time expects a number or something. I prefer C# date time. It's so much more convenient. This works. So this will be, or you know what I could do is I could return like a tuple or like an array. But no, I think I will do merged event date equals merge date, like HTML time, merge date with HTML time. That works for me. Merge date with HTML time. Okay. And so that will be merged date is merge date with HTML time, and that's going to take a string. That's going to take the HTML time. And I think that's pretty intuitive. Ayo, not reading my comment or ignoring it. I was just in the zone, man. You gotta let a coder code sometimes. Damn, is this Java or JavaScript? It's TypeScript. It's kind of like JavaScript, basically. Bro, please indent after if statements. What do you mean? Oh, actually, I'm gonna wrap it up there. My sister's calling me and I'm supposed to go eat. Follow the page later. Hey, what's up? I'm fixing to eat. Can I call you in like 10 minutes? Maybe. Can I call you in like 10 minutes? Love you, bye. Okay, boom, bye.